preparers, anybody that is in the tax business. They are in a market of helping people save money on taxes so we can continue to do that through retirement and again, add more value to our clients. So definitely something worth sharing with whoever does your tax return. And if you need someone to help you with that, I think I know someone that can help you. All right, you guys. So like Odetta said, my husband and I have been in this business now for a little over a year. We have been blessed, glory to God, with helping so many families. Yes, we're about to reach $250,000 in commissions part-time because we do run our other business. I had a baby in March, so we are busy. But that is no excuse for us to stop helping people. So I'm going to get right into it and share my screen here with you guys. We're going to talk about a very important rule of money, and it's how taxes affect the growth of your money. See, Odetta just shared a very important point on growing your money through compound interest. How do I get my money to work for me? Let's make it double. And how do we do that? Understanding the rule of 72. So with that being said, whenever we go into deciding what's going to be best for us, how are we going to grow our money, and then what affects it later, right? Because as you grow income, there's something called capital gains tax that as you grow that income, you're going to get taxed on that money you're making. Money's making money, but Uncle Sam wants his cut. So we have to understand, how do taxes affect the growth of my investments, of my savings, of the money that I am making? Because no matter what you gain, if you're going to lose 30 to 40% of it, you need to know exactly how that's all going to work. So I'm going to share my screen here with you guys so you can see. All right. So Odetta, can you see here 3 rules of money? Okay, perfect. All right, you guys. So in the tax world, as a tax advisor, we like to help our clients save as much money as possible, reducing their tax liability through all kinds of things, right? But we forget to talk about the investments, the growth, because let's be honest, as you're saving money, whether you have a 401k or an IRA or anything that you're using to grow your retirement funds, to grow the college savings for your kids, you're not telling your tax advisor, oh, by the way, I saved $6,000 this year in my 401k. What's going to happen later? And no one's actually educating you on this. And this is why this is so important coming from us to you guys as free financial literacy to help you understand how money works. So what gets taxed now? Where do you put your money? You get paid, you put money in a checking account, right? Or you put some of it into a savings account. And then some people take that money that's already been taxed and then move it over to either a CD or stocks or mutual funds because they haven't been properly educated and they don't know what else to do. All they know is that this sounds right, or my financial advisor said I should do this, and they are not being educated correctly to understand the tax effect. So here we are. What money gets taxed now? Money that you make. And then the money that you make, if you put it into a CD, stock, or mutual fund, guess what? You're going to get taxed again, because as the money grows, you get taxed on the capital gains, on the dividends, on anything that money makes for you, you're going to get taxed again. Now, what gets taxed later? So it's very important to understand when we're talking about taxes and tax advantages. I don't know if everybody understands this very important rule, but for those of you that have seen this beautiful 401k abbreviation here and 403b, you understand that you're not getting taxed on contributions. So this is a tax later account. The list here: IRAs, self-employed IRAs, annuities, pensions, TSPs. All of these items are things that as you contribute to the funding of your retirement, of your future savings, they don't get taxed as you contribute. So you get this pre-tax contribution, and your HR or your advisors, whoever at your job, will say, oh yeah, you're not going to get taxed on the money you put in. But wait, they don't tell you you're going to get taxed on the money that you take out, which included the money that you put in plus what it gained, right? And that's at any point that you want to withdraw any of your money, if you're even allowed to withdraw it, you're going to get taxed later on the gains that your money had. Now, another thing that I point out to all of my clients is these pre-tax contributions, you guys, they're not affecting Social Security and Medicare. So pay attention to this. Whenever you contribute to these tax later accounts, 401ks or 403bs, they are only reducing the taxable income from your federal income tax withholding. You're still paying full Social Security and Medicare tax on everything else because they don't care. That still has to get paid no matter what. So these pre-tax contributions, it's not 100% pre-tax. So I want to clarify that to people because I have a lot of people have that misconception. Tax later, it's worse. They don't tax you on the seed that you're putting in. They want to tax you on the whole tree. They want to take everything. So you know those matches we get from our employers sometimes? Guess what? It's tax deductible for the employer because it's going to be taxable to you. So Uncle Sam's going to get his cut one way or the other. Now, what are the tax advantage plans that we talk about? What is tax advantage? Well, it's money that's already been taxed, right? It's already been taxed on the front end. So as the money grows, you don't have to worry about paying taxes on the distributions. You ready to take this money out? Go ahead. No taxes. Due to that, we have these options: Roth IRAs, 529 plans for your kiddos, executive bonus plans, long-term care benefits, and cash value life insurance. Once you understand, how do I preserve my wealth? How do I keep most of my money? So let's just say that this is me, and I have, at 36 years of saving, $640,000. My main concern is, what am I going to lose this to? Oh, wait, I could lose 40% of this taxes if I don't understand my tax now, tax later, and tax advantage accounts. So all of this matters because it will take your money in the future if you don't understand the concept. Now, with the tax advantaged accounts, we then see, okay, now that I know, well, if I have to choose a bucket here, which bucket would I choose? I want to see in the chat, if you have to choose right now, if you had $640,000 and you had to choose whether that was sitting in a tax now, tax later, or tax advantaged account, drop in the chat which one of the three buckets would you choose. So once we start seeing that, obviously for me, I'm going to go with tax advantage because I want my money to grow and I don't want to be subject to taxes for two reasons. Number one, do we really know what taxes will be in the future? No. Even I, being an enrolled agent with the Internal Revenue Service, with the IRS, understanding tax law, being connected with the tax code, even I don't know. But I do know that the IRS also doesn't know because we can't tell what's going to happen in the future with inflation. So we don't know what those future tax rates are going to be. So if I tell you, yeah, go ahead and save your money, you're going to have $1 million in 30 years. But I tell you, but wait, I don't know how much taxes you're going to have to pay. Don't put that on me because that's the IRS. That's not really, I'm not really okay with that. I'm not really comfortable with that because we don't know what we're going to lose our money to. That's the one thing. And then the other thing, if I'm growing my money, I want my money to grow as much as possible. But the more that it grows, the more it'll get taxed. Again, if I don't understand this part of my savings. How do I lose money to taxes? How can I preserve my wealth by not losing money to taxes? So once we know that and we see, all right, tax advantage is definitely the way to go, then we see our options here. The third rule of money that is very important for all of us to understand is, what are our investment options? This is a finance rule. This is not a WFG thing. This is not a Mayra and Odetta thing. This is general finance. You got three options. You're either going to have a fixed investment, which means you're going to be guaranteed one rate of return. It's safe, right? But there's no growth. So if I tell you, if I'm with Odetta and I say, Odetta, put your money in this high yield savings account, it's going to be at 4%, and inflation keeps rising and the interest rate she's getting, it's safe. She's not going to lose her money, but it's not going to grow. And if she's not matching to inflation, there's really no growth in her money. It's not growing. It's not moving. It's fixed. So it's good because it's fixed, but it's bad because there's no growth. Now, the second investment option, which is variable, Here you have money that will go up when the market goes up, but then it goes down when the market goes down. This roller coaster for my money, I'm not cool with. That it just reminds me of being at the casino and losing to blackjack or roulette, because when it's good, it's great. And when it's bad, it's like, why did I do this in the first place, right? And so if any of us have ever played with the stock market, with our mutual funds, or if you have a 401k and an IRA, you're probably looking at it like, what is going on? Why is it dropping? What's happening in the market? When is it going to pick back up? This is why. Because variable investments have no safety. All right. It's so important for you to understand that your retirement is not safe. I'm just going to say it. I don't care how conservative you are. I don't care how aggressive you are with your investments. If you understand investment planning and you're okay with variable, I'm just going to tell you, it's not the smartest thing to do. You're always going to be catching up with time, because as money goes down, then it comes back up. So if you lose 20% and then gain 30%, you didn't really gain 30% because you're still making up for the 20% you lost the prior year or the prior month or the prior period. So I don't like playing catch up. It's stressful. It gives me anxiety. I don't like playing catch up. I want to know what's happening, and I don't want to lose my hard-earned money. So how do we meet in the middle? What can we do with our investments? 401ks, IRAs, they're not safe. They move with the market. Market goes up, they go up. Market goes down, they go down. You want to take your money out, 10% penalty. You want to take distributions on a 401k, taxes. I get these 1099-Rs from my clients when I'm doing their taxes, and it breaks my heart, because I'm looking at them like you're losing 30 to 40% of your savings that you worked for because you chose to put your money in this account. But most of the time, they didn't even know there was an option to do something else. And that's what we're here for, to teach you other options that are now available, that have been available, but we weren't aware of. All right. So with variable investments, goes up, goes down. There's no safety. Yes, there's growth, but because there's no safety, you end up giving up some of that growth, right? And then again, you're playing catch up. Now, where can we meet in the middle? With an index investment option. We have fixed index annuities. We have index universal life insurance, index cash value life insurance. So with the index options, this is where we meet in the middle. You have safety, market goes up, you get locked in with a minimum rate of return that no matter what happens in the market, there's a contract that protects you from participating in market losses. Okay? So the beautiful thing about this, you participate in the gains to an extent, there's a cap, but you participate in zero. There's no participation in the market losses. So if the market goes up, you're locked in, you stay, there's no growth, but you don't lose like everybody else. All right. Market goes up, you gain again. And so with that being said, what can we do to implement a strategy that could combine the tax advantages, the index option that meets us in the middle, and on top of that, give us a protection? Because there's no way that we can guarantee anything in our life, right? Because if something happens to us unexpected, how do we protect our savings? So there's actually a strategy that covers the 4 cornerstones of building a strong financial foundation. How do you create an expectation for the unexpected? What are you going to do? How could you create an expectation from the unexpected market downturns? What are you going to do? You create a financial foundation strong enough that you know and you have a guarantee that there is a minimum rate of return on the hard-earned savings that you've put into this account through a strong company like Transamerica. And that's just one of the many providers that we work with, you guys. We're a broker. So Transamerica is one of the many, and it's one of the strongest providers. Now, on top of this, we get a cap rate of return. So if the market goes up, remember how I said there's limitations, but it's still really good. 13% cap is good. And that this strategy also pays out compounded interest rates. having an account, having an index account, right, that doesn't participate in the market losses, has a growth up to 13%. What you're doing is you're saving your money and you're sending your money on an errand to fetch you more money. That's what you're doing. So you tell me, and I got that from one of my agents that just got onto our team, and she said, oh, so it's like sending money on an errand to fetch you more money. I'm like, exactly. What you're doing in the accounts that we help you set up and that we help you learn and understand is that you're putting your money aside. Number one, you're paying yourself first. You have security, you have protection, you have safety, but yet you still have growth, where in that growth, you're sending that money, that little piece, to fetch you more money. And over time, it's going to pay you huge returns. Now, what other benefits do we have? What else could you lose your money to other than taxes? How could you lose your savings? Has anyone on this call ever had an unforeseen illness or unexpected death in the family or unexpected tragedy that you had to take the money out of your 401k? Do you know why during COVID, they had to stop penalties for withdrawals on retirement plans? Because the emergencies were huge. People needed access to their savings. So the IRS said, okay, no more 10% penalty. But you know what that symbolized? That the amount of people that were trying to access their money due to health concerns was so great that even the IRS had to pause penalty charges. That's not a good thing. That is not a good sign. So this tells me that there's not enough protection out there. You do not want to be in a position where you have to dip into your savings to protect yourself or something unforeseen, that now you got to start over. Now you got to go back to square one. A big part of the wealth formula, you guys, is time. So like Odetta said, the sooner you start saving, the sooner interest starts compounding. Time is everything. It's so important. So what happens over time? Let's look back 20 years in the index, because remember, you guys, index accounts, they go into an index. And in our case, we're using the S&P 500. We work with Transamerica that has a global index, and whoever invited you on this call can explain that to you in more detail. But we work with the index S&P 500, Euro Stoxx 50, and the Hang Seng Index. So what happened here in the last 20 years? If you look back at how a market has performed in the last 20 years, you will be able to get an idea of what the average rate of return is, because we can't guarantee market performance, right? It's the market. It goes up and down. That is why in our strategy, there's a minimum and there's a cap, because no matter what happens, you're able to define what your average return will be. If there's no cap and there's no minimum, we don't know what's going to happen. So by looking at the numbers of what the index performance has been for the last 20 years, we'll be able to see which route might have been better. So let's just say that Odetta decided to put her money in an account that was not protected. So here she is with 10 grand, and here I am with 10,000. And I decided, nope, I'm not going that route. I've seen enough. I want to protect my savings. And Odetta's a little more aggressive. She wants to gain more. So she goes this route and decides to go unprotected. Well, over time, what you guys will notice is that right here, let's just say here, 10,000. We both started with 10,000. Market goes up. She makes 23% weighted index change. She's at 12,000. I have a cap, 13%. I'm at 11,000. All right, I gained some, not as much as she did. But then here, fast forward to 2008, and everybody remembers 2008 was a horrible year, especially for real estate. There's a lot that was going on there in the market. 40% loss. Guess what? What she built up from 2003 to 2008, she's back to square one. And this is what I'm talking about, time. Where am I at? I'm at $17,000. Why? Because I never participated in any market losses. So I did not have to come up with time, right? I didn't have to catch up. She does because she lost. So now it's play catch up. What happens with me over time? Fast forward to 20 years, 2022, she has $31,000 because during the last 20 years, there was a dip in 2008. There was a slight dip in 2011. What happened in 2011? Anything that happens in the world, again, it's not planned for. We don't expect it. But when world events happen, the market changes and your money goes down with it. And this is very serious stuff. We're talking about your lifetime savings. So in her case, drop down 7%. Then fast forward, again, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. 2018, negative. 2022, negative. She's at $31,000 over 20 years. I'm at $47,000 over 20 years. So the average for me has been 8.1%. The average for her was 5.8. So where would you rather secure your money? Do you want to risk it, get the gains, and then make up with losses? Or do you want to secure it where you have the 4 cornerstones: safety, growth, tax advantages? Because what's the difference now? That not only does she not have the safety, but she also doesn't have the tax advantages. In any account where there's no safety, there's no cap, there's no guarantee, it's not tied into insurance, there's no tax codes tied into the growth to protect your money from being taxed, she's going to have to pay taxes on that money, okay? And then the 4th cornerstone with protection, one of the most important of them all, because you cannot tell me about an investment that today, or savings that today you could put in $200, $300, $500, or $1,000, and tomorrow can produce hundreds of thousands of dollars for your family and for yourself with living benefits, chronic illness, critical illness, terminal illness through life insurance policies, and that all of those benefits are tax-free. So as you can see, I'm passionate about this. I really am. And I'm passionate about it because I just don't see where else we could tie in a strategy that gives you the tax advantages, the growth, the safety, and the protection all in one place where you don't have to worry for your future, your retirement future, your savings future, yourself or your family. And I'm going to teach y'all something that right before, I'm going to give it back to Odetta, but right before I give it back to Odetta, I'm going to teach y'all something. In the tax code, they call this a 7702 plan. So there's a tax code. It's IRC code 7702. I'm going to drop some nuggets. I haven't done this before in any call, Odetta, so this is a golden nugget. Tax code 7702, according to the IRC code, IRS codes, it's life insurance, y'all. That's what it is. It's a life insurance. So are you a good candidate? Are you seeking more tax-free income in retirement? Have you maxed out the annual contributions to your 401k and other qualified retirement plans such as IRAs? Want additional tax advantage growth? Would you like a principal protection in any type of stock market environment? Goes up, goes down, principal protection. This is how the IRS identifies our index accounts through life insurance. See how they are so sneaky about it? They don't call it life insurance, but there's an actual tax code for it. You don't want to make up for losses before generating gains again. You want the assurance of the death benefit. You don't want additional income that could cause your Social Security benefits to be taxable. Did you know that if someone has an index universal life policy, any distributions they take out from it, they don't have to worry about, oh, I can't make too much, I'm going to lose my Social Security. It's not added in as income because it's not taxable income, y'all. This is a true code, all right? And do you not want to be forced to withdraw money at age 72 or be penalized? Because what happens with a lot of these retirement accounts? If you withdraw money too early, 10% penalty. If you withdraw money too late, 50% penalty. So there's a lot of benefits to this. And there's one more tax code that I'll share with anybody in here that's a business owner. You can look into this later. This is from the IRS. This is not from Mayra. This is not from Hope Tax Pro. This is not from my tax office, y'all. I'm showing this from the IRS. IRC Section 412E3. What is it? It's defined retirement plans that can be used through the purchase of life insurance contracts. It says it right here. Plans must be funded exclusively by the purchase of a combination of annuities and life insurance contracts or individual annuities. So when you research, is life insurance tax deductible, you will find that there's a big fat no, it's not. But it is for a business owner that funds their retirement through a life insurance contract that gives a minimum rate of return with a cap, and those premiums can be tax deductible for the business. So there's your tax golden nugget from me to you guys. And I could go on and on with tax codes, but 7702, IRS section 7701. There's so many codes. And the reason why I'm showing this, you guys, is because I'm not making this up. All right. This is from the IRS. They like to be vague. They like to be sneaky, because the more people that know this information, the less tax money that they're going to get if we start getting everybody in IUL. So with that being said, I am going to stop sharing here. You guys, it's been an honor. I'm going to come back later in the call. Odetta, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to share all this wonderful tax knowledge and how our products really help our clients. Go ahead, Odetta. I know you're going to show us something really special on how we can help our babies with making them playground millionaires, which Nathan is on his way to be a playground millionaire. So go ahead, take it away.
Mayra has an adorable baby. Y'all go on her Instagram page. She will flood it with Nathan. He is so yummy, delicious, adorable. Everybody loves him. He's a millionaire baby in WFG. That's what this business do to you, right? When you get your kids, you know your kids are going to be good. Wow. Guys, wasn't that amazing? Put some money back in the chat. I told y'all, even me, like, learn something. Those tax code, like, I'm telling you, when you know this stuff and people tell you otherwise, like, you know that you can be confident, right? Don't listen to them. Don't let them brainwash you and sidetrack you. You know that this stuff is solid. Like, she showed y'all from the IRS website directly. Mayra is phenomenal. She truly is. So she talked about living benefit. I want to share a video to bring it home why every one of us need living benefit. Every one of us, which is part of the IUL Financial Foundation Cornerstone. Take a look.
My name is Latasha McCray, and this is my living benefit story. I'm 38 years old. I'm a single mother of an 18-year-old, and I work in the banking industry.
I'm David Sutherland from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a living benefit life insurance agent. When I had first met Latasha, 30 years old, single mother with an 8-year-old son.
I am an avid gym goer. I was really in great health. Dave came over one afternoon.
She explained that, what she was trying to accomplish was to protect her 8-year-old son in case something happened.
The idea that I liked the most about the living benefits, it gave me security to let me know that if anything happened to me, my son would still be taken care of.
What we ended up doing was a 30-year term policy for $250,000 with all the benefits included.
So I decided to put the policy in place with Dave. Years had gone by, and I'm just working every day, going to work, not thinking anything of it. And one day I get a phone call from my doctor, and they called to let me know that I was diagnosed with stage 2-3 breast cancer. It was one of the worst calls in my life. I literally thought I was like losing everything that I had always worked for. I had always been in great health. I had all these financial plans set. And just to hear that, it just made me feel like I was losing everything. I went into shock for about 2 days. I didn't eat. I couldn't really sleep. My doctors were basically some of the best doctors that we had, and they put a plan together how we were going to beat cancer. So it began with telling me the financial needs, of course, the surgeries that I would need. The funding itself was astronomical. My job was kind enough to say, well, we'll give you time off, but it will be unpaid. Therefore, I really didn't have any income coming in to take care of my mortgage, to take care of my son. My insurance didn't cover 100% of my chemotherapy, and I couldn't afford it. I had stocks, I had savings, but it was nothing compared to the money that I would need to take care of the chemotherapy.
She happened to call and say, I need to cancel my plan. I have a health crisis, and I've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I said, well, no, you don't need to cancel your plan to try and save premium. You need to put in a claim.
Through my job, I had great health insurance. I always thought that because I had great health insurance, I was always covered. Chemotherapy wasn't covered 100% with my insurance. So the living benefit really came in and helped me take care of those chemo treatments, my radiation, my surgeries, my biopsies. There's a lot of things associated with cancer that the insurance companies do not cover.
That's what gets people in trouble financially. And that's why you have a plan with living benefits, that you don't have to die to use your plan.
I really didn't have income coming in to put gas in my car, to pay my car note. And I remember speaking with my doctors, and they told me this financial plan was going to cost thousands. One of the first plans that I received was $20,000.
The claims process took two to 3 weeks at the most. And then Latasha called me one day and just said, hey, I just got a check in the mail today for just a little over $65,000. She still has almost $170,000 of remaining benefit that's still existing.
Even though I was still fighting cancer, I still had surgeries I still had to recover from, financially, I didn't have to fight through anything because the living benefits plan was there. I just wanted to make sure that my son didn't feel that his mom was sick. He knew I was sick. You know, it was something that I was living through. I didn't want it to affect him at all. He still had his cable, still had his games. And I know to a lot of people that's not important, but to me, it was important for me to feel like I'm fighting this, not he's fighting this cancer. Through a total of 9 surgeries, and 2 years later, I've been cancer-free, 2 years December, and my life has like taken a total turn for the best.
She's back to living a normal life. And it's just a very rewarding, fulfilling thing to have been a small part of that.
The living benefit plan is something that everybody needs to look into, to spare just a few moments of your time, whether it's $30, $40, $50 a month. This is your future that you're thinking about. A lot of people say, I love my kids. If you love your kids, think about your kids' future. Think about your future with your kids, and think about your kids' future without you. If you're not thinking about all of these things, then you're really not planning for a future at all. And the living benefits plan basically makes sure that your kids are taken care of, you're taken care of, your illness is taken care of. Money isn't everything, but when you're battling cancer, it's a whole lot off of you.
Wow. Total of 9 surgeries. So I want to bring it back to the 4 cornerstone. When you have a strategy like this, you're taken care of. You're taken care of. If you die too soon, you're taken care of because there's a death benefit. If you get ill, you're taken care of because there are living benefits. You have chronic, critical, terminal. She had cancer. That's critical. And if you live too long, you have money in your cash because you're never losing money. Your money is always growing, and it's compound growth. This business, we take it very personal when we sit with clients and they don't want a strategy like this, or they don't want a strategy that's going to be better for them. This Sunday, I found out that one of my clients that has a term, a regular term, basic term, no living benefit. He called me and he said, Odetta, my policy will expire next year. I've had it for 20 years, $50. It's going to expire next year. I said, let's get you another policy before it expires next year. And let's get you something with living benefit. He said, no, I'm going to be good. I have a good job. I already have life insurance in my job. I found out on Sunday that he was diagnosed with cancer. This is the part of the business that I hate. This is the part that I hate, when I know that I sat with someone and I tried to get them a policy and they said no. This is why I go hard in this business. Because when you hear someone tells you this and you had the opportunity and you sat with them and you show them and they refuse, it hits you harder. Because now I'm saying to myself, I should have tried more. I should have pushed him. I should have convinced him. I should have. We can't save everyone, but this is why we do these webinars. If you have a plan right now that does not have living benefit, make sure you get in touch with one of us. Make sure you get in touch with one of us. Cancer, heart attack, and stroke is rampant. If you don't have something to address cancer, heart attack, and stroke, get in touch with one of us. Don't watch the money. Put something in place. I've had another person that I know who passed away because she didn't even get a chance to fight the cancer. She didn't even get a chance to fight the cancer because there was no money. She did not want to do chemo. She wanted to try alternative. Well, health insurance doesn't pay for alternative treatment. She did not even get a chance to fight the cancer. I'm telling you, people, if you do not have a plan that addresses living benefit, if nothing else, get in touch with one of us to get you a plan that includes living benefit. Because we don't know what's going to happen to our health next week, next month, next year, next 5 years, next 10 years, next 20 years. Put a plan in place while you are young and you are healthy. If nothing happens, thank God. If something happens, you have a plan to fight it and you have a chance, right? Very, very, very important. Now, this strategy, IUL, it has the living benefit. It has a cash value growth. You're never ever losing money. Your money is growing and you can touch that money tax-free. There is nothing better than an IUL. Wealthy people know about this plan and they love it because they have a lot of money and they don't want to pay tax, right? Now, we're going to go to the fun part. Playground millionaire. This is a newborn. All of you that have kids. Now, I'm going to show you how we literally set kids up from birth. The minute your child is born, or you know somebody who's pregnant or they have a baby, this plan is for everybody. It's for adults, it's for kids, it's for everybody. But I'm bringing home the point of having a strategy like this on a newborn life. It's not about the life insurance. It's about setting this child up to be a playground millionaire, growing his money tax-free and money for every milestone once he becomes an adult. So as you can see, age 0, baby boy, just born, 15 days old, he got his social, and because he sat with me, but not he, his mom, right? Went to a baby shower, saw her, she was pregnant, and I said, listen, girl, as soon as you drop that load, you need to talk to me, okay? Because I'm going to show you how to set this child up to be a millionaire. She gave birth, she got his social, she called me. I remember calling Jessie, who's on this line, when she was pregnant. I said, girl, when you get that baby, we need to open an IUL for your baby, okay? Every time I see somebody who's about to be pregnant or is pregnant or about to give birth, I'm always thinking, I got to talk to that mom. I have to talk to that mom. So I am super passionate about kids, even though I don't have my own, because I know with time, money in this account with time, their kids are going to be a playground millionaire, right? If you did not get a copy of this book, make sure you do. If you have kids, great. Even if you don't have kids, I don't have any kids. My nieces and nephew, they're playground millionaire, right? My friends that have kids, I'm gifting them this book to read it because I want them to see that they can set their kids up to be a millionaire. So mom and dad or auntie or grandma or whoever, they're saving $200 a month into this plan. Initially or right away, that child is covered for $113,000 coverage. Guys, did you know there's adults, grown adults that are not even insured for $113,000? And your newborn that was just born, net worth is $113,000, his net worth, right? So we're not going to focus on the life insurance. We're going to focus on the cash growth of this account. Now, pay attention. We're doing $200 a month. Either mom owns this policy, dad owns this policy, or grandma owns this policy, right? And they're setting this up for their grandkids, or they're setting this up for their daughter or son. Now, we're putting $200, but if hard time hits us in the future, we can always reduce. This plan is super flexible. You can increase if you have more money, or you can decrease if money is tight. We can decrease up to $20 a month. So if life hits us and things are hard or things are tight around the house and we got to cut back, we could cut back to 150. We could cut back to 100. We could cut back to 75. We can cut back. It is flexible, right? Same thing for adults. When we design these plans, I have parents that are saving 500, 300, 1,000, 800. It is flexible. And if money is good, right? And we have more money, we can put more money into this plan. $3,700 a year, we could fund this. If you guys Google the average cost that grandparents spend, which is ludicrous, spend on their grandkids, are $2,500 a year. This is money that they're spending that's not going to do anything for this child in the future. Why not put that $2,500 in an IUL? Long after grandma is gone, that kid is going to be thanking grandma, right? So when we set up a plan like this, which by the way, Transamerica is leading, we are the #1 in the IUL space, #1. Yes, there's other companies that does IUL, but Transamerica is the #1 in this space, right? In the IUL space. They have $497 billion investment, over $52 billion paid out in insurance, retirement, and annuity claims, right? Over 12 million policies in force. Now, these numbers sound big, but come on, there's so many more people that don't even know about these strategies. New York alone has 9 million people. So that tells you and I that there's a lot of people to help, right? Now, tabular details. We're going to pay attention to the last column, the last 2 columns that's in green, right? Mayra just did an amazing job showing you the average interest in the last, and let me go back again, just in case you forgot, right? Just in case you forgot, but in the last 20 years, these are real numbers, otherwise, right? Real numbers. An index account performed 8.15. So with this illustration, we're not even showing you the last 20 years. We're going below the last 20 years. We're under promising to over deliver. We're showing you conservative numbers, 7%. Cash value is that's the fun money. This is money that we're going to spend while we're alive. Debt benefit, of course, it is what it is. It's a debt benefit. That's what pays out when we pass away. Again, we're not focusing on debt because this is for the living. Now, when this child is 5 years old, we contributed $12,000. He has $10,000. Which 5-year-old do you and I know have $10,000? Which, right? This is very, very good. Again, if you Google, right, most people can't even deal with an emergency of $400, adults. So a 5-year-old having $10,000 in saving is super, super incredible. Very ambitious. When he's 10, he has $26,000. When he's 15 years old, he has $47,000, almost 50, right? Almost 50. When he's 20, he has almost 76,000. 25, are you kidding me? Over 100,000. That is more than enough money to put down a down payment on a house. That is more than enough money to start a business. He's going to have choices. His life is going to be entirely different. At 25, I didn't have 100,000. 25? No way, right? And so when he's 30, he has 167. Guys, there is money here for every major milestone. If he goes to school and he gets student loan, he could pull some money out from there to pay off the student loan. He didn't go to school. He went to trade school or whatever he went to. There's money to help him. So when your child comes to you and you have an account like this that you started for them, the conversation is going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be like, okay, well, how much you need, son? How much you need, girl? I got you. How much you need? This is what we want to be able to tell our kids, how much you need. Not, I ain't got it. What you asking me for 50,000? Where am I going to get it from? That's not the conversation we want to have with our kids, right? And now the reason why we said playground millionaire, because at the age of 58 years old, look at this, $1 million. $1 million. And not just a million, but $1 million tax free. This is really $1 million. Not $1 million in a 401k and Uncle Sam take 30, 40, 50%. This is $1 million net tax free. But the best part, look, how much did we contribute in total? In the total time of this policy, 60 years, we only contributed, again, $200 every month, 200, 200, 200. We did $200 every month for 60 years. You know what eats me up? People can afford to save $200 a month. They can. If somebody shows you a plan like this, hey, save $200 a month, and when your child is 58, he gonna have $1 million. And you know what? The best part, this plan, the parents owns it. So even though mom or dad or grandpa or grandma opened this plan, they're the owner, which means they have access to the cash. If homeboy or homegirl is not listening to you, they want to smoke hookah, they don't want to go to school, they just want to hang out on the street corner, you ain't got to give them this money. This is your money. This is money that could go towards your retirement or whatever you want to do because you're the owner, you're the parent. When I see this, I get mad with myself because I'm like, I wish my parents knew about this, because today, this is money that could have helped them with their retirement, because they've been in America for 50 years. They could have saved $200 a month or $100 and worked their way up over time. They could have had these amounts because they saved money. But like everybody else, they saved it in the bank and they saved it in the stock market. They saved it in the bank with no interest growth. They saved it in the stock market where they made money and they lose money. They lost money. This could have been my parents' retirement income. And along the way, they could have helped me with my first house. They could have helped me with my school fees. They didn't have to because it's their money. But this picture is this is what we want every family to be educated on, because they're saving, but they're not saving smart, right? And by default, this is how we get into now generational wealth, because when you have a plan like this, now remember, we started with the face amount of $113,000. Over the years, look at the death benefit, it increased. Over $1 million, over $1 million, over $2 million, over 4, 5, 6. The longer you live, this is not the type of policy you want to kill somebody, because the longer they live is the higher the death benefit. So when this baby boy, who is now a grandpa and got grandkids, and let's say he passed away at age 100, how much money does he leave behind? 12 million. Guys, this strategy by default is going to hit the next generation. This strategy by default is going to help your kids' kids. I have 3 IUL for myself and I don't have any kids. By default, this is going to help my nieces and nephew and their kids because my nieces and nephew have IUL. So when I die, my death benefit is going to go to them. And because they're already educated and they're going to do this business, right? One of them is studying for his license. The other one, as soon as they're 18, I'm recruiting them to this business. So when I die, my death benefit goes to them. But because they have policies of their own, they know they're going to take some of my death benefit, put some in their policy, and open policies for other kids in the family, their kids, generational wealth. So this plan is going to help you first, the owner, the insurer, and the insured kids. Didn't you guys wish you knew about it sooner? Right? All by saving $200 for 60 years. Now, we could slice this up and down. We could design it. But the thing I want to stress is you have to fund it. If you want to see a lot of money, you have to fund it. I get asked a lot of times, well, how soon can I take out money? Well, as soon as you can overfund it, right? As soon as you can overfund it, don't be putting out 100, 200, 300, and you think you're going to take out all these millions you're seeing here. No, you got to fund it, and you got to fund it for a long time. Or overfund it for a short time. Max fund it for a short time, right? Money loves time. So this plan goes all the way to age 121. So if we keep living beyond 100, we still good, right? In your hundreds, you got millions of dollars. And when you die, you also leave it multiple millions of dollars. Every family needs this plan, and especially kids, Why? They have a lot of years. They have time on their side. Now, if you're an adult, you could do this too, but you're just going to have to put more than $200 because you got less window to work with. You got less time to work with, right? So now I'm going to pass it back to Mayra, who's going to talk about the business opportunity.
Thank you, Odetta. That was awesome. I'm excited for Nathan. He's a millionaire. I mean, that kid, something happens to me or Juan, he's a millionaire. And if nothing happens to us, he's still a millionaire. So we got some millionaire kids, and I'm so blessed to have this information now. Time is everything. So the faster we start designing something for our kids and teaching them, right? Because that example was just assuming we only save $200 a month. But if I taught Nathan about this, oh, that boy's going to be putting a couple thousand a month. We're not going to be doing the 200. So we're going to teach our kids and create that generational wealth that they need to know about. So I'm going to tell you guys, Odetta and I, we're both licensed professionals. And let me just give me a second. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so Odetta and I are both licensed professionals, and we work through a brokerage. And normally we present just straight up who is Aegon, who's Transamerica, who is World Financial Group, and how are all these 3 companies tied together. And I'm going to share something a little bit different, and I'll drop a link in the chat so you guys could know. But I want to show you directly from their website who is Aegon. Aegon is an international company, right? And they own a group of a bunch of other companies, and it ties all together with the platform that we have. They've been around since 1844, you guys. Okay, so I think they know what they're doing. They are extremely powerful. Their financial foundation is extremely powerful. The group, Aegon, because it's a publicly traded company, all of their financials are actually public information that you can see who is really the owner of World Financial Group. So Transamerica, owned by Aegon. And what it is that we're the North American division of Aegon. So if you've ever gone to the Aegon website to see how is Aegon, Transamerica, and WFG all tied together, it's right here in this link. People ask me all the time, well, what companies do you work with? And how do I know it's secure? And how do I know they're not going to disappear tomorrow? And honestly, it's lack of education. I don't laugh at people like that, but internally I'm like, if they only knew how big we are, because we're pretty big. It's almost like saying, oh, JP Morgan Chase is going to go under. It's probably very unlikely that would happen. Aegon is even more unlikely. You know why? Because at one point, Aegon insured JP Morgan Chase. So they are, the North American division is Transamerica. We do business primarily under the Transamerica brand in the United States. Transamerica is a leading provider of life insurance, investments, and retirement solutions in the U.S. Transamerica employs approximately 6,800 people, helping people live their best lives, their business lines. And then when you go down here, we see who is World Financial Group to Transamerica. We serve the financial needs of middle-income individuals and families across the U.S., North America, through its alliance, right? This is our alliance with Transamerica. We are the platform. Here we are getting licensed to help people through these strong companies. And to do what? To deliver through this unique business platform, to deliver to our associates and our families, business owners, to share with individuals, families every single day. This is our CEO, Will Fuller, who we saw in Vegas this past summer. Amazing person. And you could see everything that you want to know about the companies that are backing us up. Super strong. Aegon entered the U.S. in 1983, but they've been around since the 1800s, you guys. So we are part of a very strong organization. And again, I'll drop that link here in the chat. But what is it that we do? So through these strong financial service companies, World Financial Group is a distribution platform to deliver education. That's what we do. We're bringing financial literacy to middle class, to higher class, really to all sorts of income classes, because we have the power to do so by teaching people to pay themselves first, to understand how retirement savings work, to understand what options they have, and really make educated decisions on their children's education. Odetta just showed how better could I, serve my child, and having this protection plan in place for his education. What if he doesn't go to college? What if, God forbid, he grows up and has a disability and can't go to college? We don't know, right? And so we teach people, these are your options. And then having the proper protection. Paying yourself first is the most important thing to understand. And we do this through the different insurance and investment firms that are affiliated to the brokerage that we represent. So we work with companies like Athene, Transamerica, Nationwide, Everest, Prudential, Pacific Life. Do you ever notice how Transamerica is the owner of us, of our platform, but they don't force us to only sell their product? Because the mission of World Financial Group is not to sell a product. It's to educate and help families and do what's best for them. So we are able to have a choice to help them through all kinds of different providers if the need is there. But we start with education to help our clients' needs, not our own. For us in our industry, yes, we make money helping people, but we put our mission before commission all the time. Why? Because there's a need. There's a need. I wish my parents would have heard this information when I was a child. We believe that no family should be left behind. We believe that your barber, your hairstylist, your nail lady, the people that don't typically say, maybe I should go look for a financial advisor. We believe they need this information, and we're here to bring it to them, to make them comfortable, to help them, and to teach them. The underserved. 91% of families are underserved. Only 9% are financially educated. And even the 9% that are financially educated are sometimes making poor decisions because they're not fully financially educated. And we're here to help and bridge that gap. Everyone needs financial education. It's absolutely important. It's costing people money. Ask my agents. coming into this business and they go back and start looking into their 401k, looking into their 403b, to come back frustrated, telling me, Mayra, I've lost $8,000 in 10 years of savings. What am I going to do? How do I make that up? We're here to educate and help people. So our next step here is you can learn more and have detailed solutions specific to your situation by going through a personal financial strategy for your needs about how to save money. Detailed information about building a business. How do you open your own agency, your own financial services company within a strong financial services company like World Financial Group? Or how can you do both? So Odetta, I'm going to send it back to you to go over our business, and we close it up from here. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you. Guys, we're looking for people like ourselves that want to educate. We don't sell. So if you're thinking, oh, I have to sell something, no, we're not selling anything here. We're educating families how to save money, how to grow their money, how to build their wealth, sustainable, guaranteed growth, no loss. Nobody will ever come to us and say, hey, you made me open a strategy and I'm losing money. We sleep good at night. Mayra, I just shared with you earlier, Mayra made $250,000 in her business. She started with this company last year, June, in the midst of all the craziness, being a pregnant mom, giving birth to adorable baby Newt and Nathan, like all this stuff, having her own tax practice, right? And still doing this business on a part-time and made $250,000. Nobody can tell us here how much you can make or what's the highest you can make. You control how much money you want to make. So when everybody starts with us, the entry level is a training associate. That's the entry level. You're in training. You don't want to stay in training. You want to move up. But we all start somewhere. All of us, we started as a training associate. And as a training associate, your first 30 days is to get your license and become an associate. Promote yourself, right? So when you're helping somebody save on average $250, which they can, because they're spending it, right? They're already saving money and they're spending money. So when we educate them, not sell, we're educating them on saving money. Let's say this person is saving $250 a month. Now you're an associate at 45% contract. You make $1,350, $1,350. So if you open 4 accounts in the month, that's almost $5,000 working from the comfort of your home on a Zoom. Because since COVID, it's been a blessing in disguise to our business. We no longer go to the office. We work remotely 90% of the time. We're in our home office. We don't go to the office anymore, which is easier for us because a lot of time we would have to get clients to come to the office, do our trainings, our meetings, everything. And it's like, people are tired by the time they're done working. Now go home and jump on a Zoom. And you could go all the way up to a marketing director if you want to build a team, right? Senior marketing director, you build a bigger team. So the average senior marketing director makes anywhere between $86,000 to $1 million. Y'all, you could stay at your job for the next 40, 50 years. The average person will never make $1 million at their job. Like, to me, it's just mind-boggling. I'm forever grateful that Angel brought me into this business. This is why I share this business with everybody, because I know that this can change their life, because it changed my life. Because of this business, it changed my life. And it's going to change my nieces and nephews' life, right? There's no cap on your income. If you want to make 50 grand a month, you can do it. It just means you're going to help a lot of families, right? Now, our business platform is second to none. There are no employees. There are no inventory. You don't have to ship anything, right? There's no workers' comp. WFG does all the back office support for us. There's no payroll. There's no overhead. I'm in my house, right? I'm in my house. I have no boss. I have no quotas. You have no quotas. You know what's your quotas? How much you want to make, girl? How much you want to make, son? How much you want to make? That's your quota. If you want to make 10 grand this month, that's on you. You could make 10 grand this month. If you only want to make 5 grand this month, again, that's on you. 5 grand a month. There's no quotas, right? How about liabilities? None. You're not paying rent. You don't have office. You have a cell phone. You have a Wi-Fi. You have a laptop. You already have these things. You already have a cell phone. You already have a computer. You're already paying for Wi-Fi. Monetize it and have that be a tax write-off. There's no HR. I don't know about you, but when I was in corporate America, I hate having to go to HR. There's no HR here, right? And on top of it, we get paid twice a week. Never heard of that. Every Tuesday and every Friday. So when somebody pisses you off, every Tuesday and every Friday rolls around and you happy again. Because as long as you're working the business and helping families, you will make money, right? We make money several different ways. You're going to make money the first way with your personal income. When you sit with a family and help that family, you make money one way. If you see somebody in your territory and that person also wants to come on board and do what you do, that's agency income. But then you may know somebody outside of your state. I'm in New York and I have agents in all different parts of the states. Now I get expansion income. And as an SMD, now we're getting bonus. And everybody's going to get recurring income. Everybody's going to get recurring income. You open a policy this day, September 20, 2023. Guess what? That client keeps their strategy. Come next year, September 20, 2024, you get a recurring income. So we service our clients. We make sure that when they get a strategy, we stay in touch with them. This is not a one-stop, you help somebody one time and you disappear. No, our family become our friends. We stay in touch with them. We check in with them. And if you're my client, you know that because I'm going to be on your case to make sure you stacking your coins. Make sure you saving money. You tell me you got a pay increase. I'm going to be like, girl, we need to put more money in IUL. Tax season come around, I'm going to call you and be like, listen, you get in the tax refund. I need you to put more money in your IUL, right? It's a lifelong relationship. Again, because when we help you, it's like we're helping ourselves because now you're going to go and tell somebody about me. I got a lot of my clients from referral. I help one person, they go tell somebody else and they tell somebody else and it's strangers I'm helping, right? So to close it out, here are your options. Where do you see yourself starting? Do you want to have a complimentary financial strategy? It is complimentary. Hey, let me know what you got, right? Show me what you got. What do I need to do? That I got a 401k, I got money here, I got this there, I got that. It's complimentary. Many people have never sat with someone to know what's going on with their financial from a holistic standpoint. Number two, you could do this business on a referral basis. Refer people to us. If you don't have time to be in the everyday trenches like us, because we do this full time, you could refer business and make part-time sharing program. Or option three, this could be a twin career. Keep doing what you're doing and do this part-time. That's how I started. I started part-time and now I'm full-time. So let us know, where do you see yourself? Put the number in the chat. You're also going to be getting a survey, but I will tell you, the minute we hang up the Zoom, don't wait for the survey. Call the person who invited you and let us know which option and set up a one-on-one so we can help you with whatever you want to do. Our job, and this is why we don't sell, our job is to educate and give you the information. Once we give you the information, it's on you. Now you cannot say, I didn't know. Life is unfair. I didn't know. We're giving you the information. And now the ball is in your court. You know better, do better, right? And with that being said, we're going to have another session on Wednesday of next week, right? Tomorrow, we're doing something called Fast Start. So if you're interested in the business, again, this is why you want to get in touch with us. so we can invite you to our Fast Start, which is open to all agents and people who are interested in the business to learn more about the business opportunity. Come on board, get your license. There's no pressure. You have nothing to lose. Keep doing what you're doing and come play with us. Help a lot of families and help your own family and break that generational curse. And let's have generational wealth. With that being said, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Mayra. You guys will get the recording so you can watch it and share it. Don't just keep this information to yourself. Share it with somebody because this was pretty powerful tonight. And more importantly, get in touch with us. Mayra, you want to say any lasting words?
Well, just thank you everyone for joining. I love doing this. We do this over and over again, but I always learn something new. I hear it different. Thank you, Odetta, for having me. I hope that we added value to everyone's knowledge tonight and that you guys could be more confident and that you learn more from this. So thank you guys. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And for the agents that are on here, let's get out there. Let's help some families because they need this.
Awesome. Thank you. Good night, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.